So welcome back to the channel and welcome to what used to be one of my favorite nature reserves. That was until the agency that runs this area decided to completely cut it off for cars. And of course, I understand that nature needs preservation and all that stuff. But as a photographer, it's kind of frustrated when you can't get somewhere by car. And yeah, it takes a lot of effort and time now to reach the best spots. You know, you can just park in one parking lot, and from that area you have to hike all the way around. And that is quite a shame, I can tell you that. So what I did now is I arrived a little bit early, just so that I could take the hike to the most stunning spot here. And there's still some pink heather around. So I'm gonna get up this hill and hopefully I will be able to catch some nice shots today. It's clear skies, some light in it, some clouds in it. So conditions are here. Let's just hope for the best. So one of the reasons why I'm out here today is because I have something new with me. Something that I would love to test today, so stick with me, you'll see it in a while. This is why I love this area so much. Just look at all those rolling hills here, going towards the sunrise. You know, you can hear on my breathing that I definitely put on a heavy pace to get up here. And my car is actually, let's have a look, other way around, is parked somewhere on that ridge. So I had to cross the whole reserve to get to this side, and last year I was able to park just 1 minute along the road here. Oh, there are 2 deer running down here through the heather, making too much noise. Fucked up. Let's try and see if they stop somewhere on a nice spot, but looking at the pace they have, they're probably scared to death. So let's find a nice spot and take that sunrise. So there's one advantage about this parking regulation, and that is very simple. There is no one around. Nobody made the effort. You know, it's not peak heather season anymore. That was somewhere last week or the week before, but there's still some pink colors in these heathers. But still, I think it's a nice clear morning. You know, we haven't had much of those last week, but I'm just gonna see if I can frame up a shot here. Yesterday was absolutely amazing with some low-hanging fog, but unfortunately my son had to play his first football match. So yeah, he plays in one of the yacht teams in my local football club. And he had to play his first match and I just couldn't miss that. So when we were driving there, I was thinking, oh man, this is good. This was the best morning in months. And I just couldn't go out, you know. But more important things than photography in life. So yeah, I'm quite happy I'm here. And I'm gonna frame up a shot because I think once the sun is coming up, there's probably going to be some nice opportunities here, so let's find a spot. So I found my spot here, and I think this is a pretty nice composition. I never shot it from this angle. Usually I'm a little bit more to that side because this place is always crawling with people. So I always walk past it and then find a spot a little bit more to that side. But from this angle you get all these rolling hills, which are really, really nice. And I have to take a bracket here and just to show you, because I got a lot of questions recently about why I take so many brackets. Well, just see the back of the camera. I'm gonna try to show you. You can see right now I'm overexposing it, and you can see this foreground heather here. It looks quite nice, but you can see that the sky is completely blown out. So once I start reducing those blowout spots in the sky. You see about this, there's still a little bit where the sun is, but the foreground is completely black. So there's nothing to regain there from the shadow sections. So why I take a bracket, I take all these exposures, this one, this one, this one, this one, and all these exposures are then blend together, and then you get one image with a perfectly exposed foreground and a perfectly exposed sky. So I have to be quite quick here and see, because the sun is coming from behind that cloud. I just shot one image, which I think is really nice. And I'm gonna put on a telephoto lens so I can zoom in on those bushes in the bottom and use that golden light that's coming from the top to create some sort of atmosphere. So I think this is the perfect spot to do something like that. So this is the first shot, the bracket of this image, f8, ISO 400, and then combining like 6 or 7 shots with 3 stops of light in between every, or no, 1 stop of light in between every shot, and that's actually 3 clicks here on the shutter speed. So first shot, I think it's quite nice. So, what is so exciting today? Of course, my book, Out of the Darkness. You know, if you haven't ordered it already, it's now available in my web shop. But that is not the reason why I'm here, but it is an amazing book. But this is what I wanted to show you. The 50-200 f2.8 from OM System. Brand new, just got it 2 days ago. And let's test it. So this is it, the 50-200 from OM System. Let's take some pictures with it first, because this amount of reach is amazing as a landscape photographer. You know, what my problem usually is, just look around. You know, we're now facing that very hard light. The sun is about here. And if you see here in the bottom, you can see that golden light down there. And that is actually what I'm looking for. And just look at this composition here. It's bathing in golden light that comes from the top of the screen into my image. And the only way to catch that atmosphere is by attaching a longer telephoto lens. And this 50-200 is absolutely amazing. And let's take some images and see what it can do. But until now, very exciting. So the funny thing is that the light looks quite hard, but when you start zooming in with a longer telephoto lens, the light actually isn't that hard. It's actually quite soft and full of atmosphere and golden light, just like I like it. And just look at this image that I compose now, and I hope you can see it on the back of the screen. So let's see if I can block from over here, probably, no. So this is filmed by the camera. You can hopefully see that those ridge lines are lit up by that sunlight, and that warm light is bathing in from the left top corner. And in movie mode, it's not as good as in photography mode, because I can make the full advantage of that, that light with the normal shot. Somehow with video it isn't as good, but I'm gonna take another shot because the light is starting to get really good right now, and I'm using a 10-second timer here to hopefully stabilize everything on the tripod. Now technically with this lens, I tried it at home, the stabilization is fantastic. So it's got inbuilt image stabilization, which is really good, and I'm just putting it on a tripod right now because I want to film it. But I can take these shots handheld if I want, but I can't handheld it with one hand and hold the camera in the other hand. So yeah, compromises, always compromises, that's the whole word. But these hills, these vibrant green colors with the pink header, the golden light, it is fantastic, even without a bit of fog. So this is that shot that I just showed you with that ridgeline, and I'm now gonna look for a little pano or something. I think the area really suits. The area is really good for a pano, let's put it like that. So let's see if we can take a pano here. So let me tell you a little bit more about this lens, because this is been anticipated for years. They've developed this for a long time, and I can honestly say it's actually a mini 150 to 400. It's a 2.8, and in this focal range, it's amazing to have a 2.8, and it's actually comparable to a 100 to 400 2.8 lens, and I don't think that's on the market with any brand at the moment. And I can hear people say, well, Micro Four Thirds doesn't have the depth of field as a full frame camera, so the 2.8, but the 2.8 is not about depth of field, it's about how much light can get into this lens. And if you're a wildlife photographer and you're out early mornings, this amount of reach in a lens like this on f2.8 is just absolutely amazing. And I'm absolutely loving it, and I'm gonna make another video in a couple of weeks where I'm gonna try it more on close-ups, on birds and all that stuff, and you will see that that background is actually really, really nice. This lens has a really nice bokeh to it, and yeah, it is, if I look at it now, probably my most favorite Micro Four Thirds lens available. And that is something to say from someone who's always said that my favorite lens was the 40 to 150 f2.8, which is absolutely brilliant. And I always said that I would never ever sell that lens. If I could choose only one lens to keep, that was going to be that lens. But that was until I got this lens this week, and I tested it at home. I already took it to the zoo yesterday, and today I'm out here, and I have to say this is probably right now my favorite and probably one of the best Micro Four Thirds lenses on the market. The price is heavy. I don't know the exact price yet actually, but I think it's going to be a little bit above 3,000 euro. But if you compare it to other companies like a 70-200 from Canon, or I think Sigma has one, it's a 70-200, it's not the reach that this lens has, and that's also 3,000 euros. So it's just the position that this lens is in. This class of lenses, just they are that price, but I think it's worth it. You can even put an extender in here, which I'm going to try over the next few weeks if there's any issue. But I was so happy with this lens that yesterday I got home from the zoo and I immediately ordered my own version. So that's how happy I am with this lens. I don't change gear that much. I don't have the gear syndrome, like I have to have the newest stuff all the time. But this lens was definitely worth investing in. So I already told you it was like a mini 150 to 400, but you can see it has all the switches. You can, the minimum focal distance is 0.78 centimeters until infinity, of course, but you can limit the range. You can autofocus, manual focus here. You can put on or off the image stabilization. You can turn off the light of the light, the sound that the lens produces, and there's a set button which I actually didn't really figure out what to do with it. But you also have these programmable FN buttons here, so you can program anything on those buttons. So it comes with this lens collar. You know, you can easily just untighten this screw here and untighten a little bit more and put the camera in portrait position. You know, it's very easy, and the lens collar comes with the Acra Swiss compatible shape. And yeah, for me as a landscape photographer, it is fantastic. Now this always happens to me, you know, I've got a big lens with me that no one is supposed to see. I have to test it in the outdoors. But the fun thing is that I don't come across many OM system users here in the Netherlands. You know, there are some bigger brands that are more common to come across. But every time I'm out with something that no one's supposed to see, I come across people that that use the same equipment. So I'm just talking to these people with my camera behind my back. Oh yeah, okay, nice. Oh, you got a nice camera, yeah. So always nice. But I walked away from the crowd. You know, it got quite crowded on that spot that I was standing, of course, because it wasn't the best spot. But right here, there's also a nice spot, and I'm just gonna try this handheld with the 5200 here. So let's have a look. Again, I'm gonna leave out the sky for the simple reason that it's very, very bright. I'm taking some portrait shots here now because I want to make the most of all these hills here. So I want to use this hill that I'm standing on in my foreground, and then all these green lit up trees going through it on the back. I actually wanted to attach a polarizer, and you can see this lens hood has a gap in it that you can turn your polarizer through, but I forgot my 77mm polarizer. There's only one lens that has 77.1, and that is the 300mm f4 that I rarely use, so I don't have it with me, unfortunately. So next time, but this gives you a nice idea of the colors of the 5200 as it is. So, and I think it is actually quite nice. I actually love to take images like this, you know, leaving the sky out of the frame creates this really nice atmosphere, and then you can see all those green treetops being lit up that are on the shady side of the hills. You know, it's absolutely fantastic, and with a 5200 you got all that reach that you need, and it's razor sharp. You can easily shoot it handheld. I would love to say that I found a negative about this lens, but honestly, I don't. I really, really don't. So, yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. That's the whole question, or the whole idea. And that's the reason why I made sure that I would get my own sample of this, you know. Beautiful. absolutely a stunning piece of equipment. And I see these rumor sites sometimes, and they're saying, Micro Four Thirds is dead, or ORM System is dead. Well, I think this proves that the R&D department of ORM System is running, and it's running on the highest pace. You know, creating a lens like this, fantastic. So there is a very nice tree here. You can see it, it's partly lit up and partly in the shade. So the underside is in the shade and the top side is in that brighter section. But also, if you look at that hill, the underside of the hill is purple heather and the top side is more vibrant yellow grasses. So there's a lot of contrast in this image. With the green tree, it looks really nice, the diagonal shape running through it. So I think this is a really nice position to take a picture. So with the 50-200 again, I have enough reach to zoom in and only take that shot, and I'm probably going to go for a 1x1 shot, which is, I think, pretty nice for this specific shot. So let's take the image of that tree right over there. So this is the end of today's video. I hope you liked this introduction to the 50-200, which is absolutely marvelous. Like I said, I don't know the exact price, but I'm pretty sure that it is absolutely worth every penny they ask for it. And I'm not saying that because I'm an ambassador, but I'm saying that as a user. You know, I just experienced it and there is nothing like it on the market. And if you compare it to other brands, you know, somehow people expect ORM System almost to be cheaper. But you can do a lot more with this lens. It's completely weather sealed. You know, everything this lens has to offer. You can put teleconverters between it. You know, the reach of this lens is absolutely insane. What you can get with an F2.8. You know, like I said, nothing on the market like it. And the things that are on the market, like 70-200s, they are priced about the same. So you get a lot of product for your money. It is expensive, I totally agree, but it is worth it. At least that is my experience, and that is for my type of photography. So I hope you like this video, this first introduction. You're probably going to see much more about it in the next few weeks. And let me know in the comments what you think of it, what you think of this video, what you think of the images. I love to engage with everyone else. Thanks for watching. Please push that thumbs up button. You will massively help this channel to grow. And there is a subscribe button underneath this video. If you haven't subscribed already, then please consider subscribing. Your support is massively appreciated. So hope to see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.